that's where we should be, out in the community, listening to people and getting a feel for what's important and what isn't, quite frankly. So I think we have a reasonable handle on that. When it comes to the formal processes, if you look at a referendum, for example, pretty much any national referendum or any important referendum, if you get a 60% approval, that's deemed to be a wild success. But what it means is that a full 40% didn't agree with that. Mm-hmm. And what we have today in the era of social media in particular is 1% or 2% sounding like the 40%. And what it can do if you're not listening very closely, or if you don't have the ability to kind of stick to the overall plan, is you can end up going down a path that is not necessarily in the best interest of the whole. And that's the most difficult part about being an elected official. And when we get into disagreements, in particular with small groups, I hesitate to use the word special interest. There are some of those. We don't have a lot of special interest groups here in Kimberley, but with the smaller groups that have, what they consider to be a vested interest in a certain thing, it's important for everybody to understand that I'm an elected official for both sides of the argument, not just one side. And so while somebody may express an opinion, and if the decision ends up going a different way, it doesn't mean that opinion wasn't listened to. It doesn't mean that it wasn't valuable. It's just that the common interest is where this needs to go.
This goes to the heart of representative government. What I hear you saying, and what I think the theory would say, is you and your fellow councilors are out in the community talking with people and listening to people and thinking and studying and doing all the things that help understand what's going on in the environment, and and with respect to a specific issue, what the pieces are. And then you sit down in a meeting, a public meeting, mm-hmm. mostly, and take what each of you has heard and then try to work it out together amongst mm-hmm. you, so that I would expect in some of the things you're talking about, you're going to have substantive disagreements on the council. Mm-hmm. And it may come down to one vote, or it may be 3 votes, or there may be an outlier. But that's sort of the way it works, mm-hmm. and it's going to, and it gets tense when it matters.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that process is a different process from somebody on social media, mm-hmm. frequently anonymously, just raising hell.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, and I think the important thing from a council point of view, when we have that discussion, the discussion starts broadly with opinion based on what each of us has heard. But what's really important is that we have the more detailed discussion amongst ourselves, not about what the opinion was, but what it means in the context of the goals that we're trying to achieve.
And you probably have facts that not everyone has access to.
Well, exactly, Paula, and that's why that's the importance of debate. And from, again, an elected official's point of view, it's the importance of being open to persuasive argument. Mm. It's not a matter of defending a particular position, but expressing the position, and then in the context of the whole, arriving at a common ground that the majority of us can agree on. I don't like 4-3 votes. 4-3 is, about as contentious as you can get, and it's just not the best place to be. But having a 5-2 or a 6-1 or a 7-0, those say we've had, we still have some disagreement, but the majority of us agree on the direction we need to take to achieve the goal. And that's the way the democratic process works.
You also have access to a staff that walk around people don't have access to, which is also part of this process, and I think it's probably an important part of the process, isn't it?
It is, yeah. In fact, it's a critical part of it. It's what differentiates between my opinion as an elected official and the objective opinion through staff reports that don't have to worry about public opinion, right? Theirs is about the goals and objectives and about how we achieve things. And ours is, our role is to take that and to overlay the, the public opinion and really what is in the best interest of the public, I guess is a better way to put that, and arrive at a decision and not just live with it, but make sure that we are all one voice in ensuring that we implement that correctly.